So now let's get on a segment we call rapid fire. So basically, how this will work is I'll ask you something and just tell me what comes to your mind, and then if you feel you want to add more, feel free to add more as well. So should we start?
Yeah, sounds good.
So startups.
I would say exciting and also greenfield optimism.
Entrepreneurship.
Brave and rewarding.
Failures.
I mentioned this before. I think they're essential in the learning experience.
Growth.
It doesn't happen by chance.
Culture.
I really think that's the secret sauce. I mean, like I think we talked about throughout this session. It becomes your ability to be successful, to really win.
Interesting. Founder.
I've worked with quite a few founders over the years. I would say a true believer, someone who's unwavering with his or her beliefs. And as a result, in most times, they get success from that.
Disruption.
Oh, I guess as I think about that, people come to mind. People like Thomas Edison, Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi. People that I think really have brought about significant change from disruption.
Interesting. Jobs of future.
Doing what's right.
Future of startups.
I would say innovation continues to thrive. I think that's going to be important for future startups to continue innovation. I mean, that's where innovation comes from. Even at the smallest levels with startups and how they go about doing what they do, both from a business and I think also it extends into some of the social issues that startups take positions on as well.
Future of organizations.
I guess I have to say this: character matters. Right. As we talked about, I think we're at a point right now where I don't think organizations can go back. I think they can only go forward with all that we've experienced. And I think going forward means that character is going to be even more important, like it is in personal character for organizations, for customers, as well as for employees.
Thank you for sharing that with us. And we ask all of our guests to share some of the books that they have read that have inspired them. I'm curious, like there are some certain books that you want to call out.
So one, as you bring that up, To Kill a Mockingbird kind of comes out to me, and I'll tell you, I read it many years ago, and it always made an impact to me. And then more recently, my son had to read it as he's going to school, and so we had to have a little bit of a dialogue on this. And then right before we went into COVID, I was in New York and I was able to see the Broadway play, which I thought was outstanding. It was so moving. The acting was fantastic. The story, of course, was fantastic. And I was moved through the whole, I think it was like 2.5 hours. But I think it's one that it's a classic in so many different ways, and it's kind of resonated with me at different parts of my life. And I think even now, if I reflect back with some of the core themes of the book, it's very relevant today.
Thank you for sharing that. So now, last but not the least, so if you want something that our listeners and viewers could take away from this conversation, what would that be? What would be your closing remark for our listeners and viewers?
I guess that as I started, I would end with the whole thing about character. Just like personal character is important to each and every one of us, organizational character is as important. And I would, again, ask all of you to give some thought to organizational character as far as the organizations that you're part of, and to self-reflect on that, but also to see what you can do to help, improve or drive a better, more engaged organizational character for the people in the organization and also for those around the organization, customers, as well as society in general.